Yeah, let's start the video. So, this video is perception as is calibration. So basically, this is a perception model. So, I'm going to speak about it lightly, but I'm going to do this formalization to go to bed and go to sleep. So, for all business questions, time now is literally 1:02 30. This is the 21 11:01 a.m. The date is 13th of February 2026. This is response. So basically, we're gonna play some video on TikTok and get listen to it and see what I mean. But let's just play the video first on TikTok. TikTok. Well, close this all down. So let's go to recent. Tab recent. Okay, it's open. So so basically, this is basically the blockchain model of a US started. So basically, there's a man uh, that literally had glasses that filled his so he put it in his eyes, and that's what he put for building. But so it's basically external processing, external processing, internal processing. Total external processing. God was really his brain. So his brain flipped the image. So, but for me, I was upside down. My brain flipped the image. So the guy had the glasses for 124 days, and this is 4 days divided by 7, 128 days, 124 divided by 7 is 17 months. No, no, is it? How many months in a day? Divided by 28. 28, okay, 124 divided by 28 days. It give you 4 months. 4 months, 42 days. And he has 4 months of holiday. But this is position, so in the third month, he was apparently seeing stuff upside down, like anyone, but the God's got to, you can navigate with him. So, we're going to work on the perception model. So, what is perception? So, I said, this is perception kind of calibration is a calibration system. Basically, the man had and the glasses were basically calibrating his brain. But the brain was doing on-the-fly calibration. So, perception of the Muko OS setup system is calibration. So you just have to calibrate your own sense of what you want. Open moto, github.com /for Oscar, B for Bravo, and remember I for Indigo, I for Indigo, and remember if I go, I for sure, if I for Sarah, / because M for Mike, Q for Bella, K for Kilo, of Oscar, dash essentially the Miko Pro system. But good to have the system there for you guys forever. But I'm gonna be delivering all my positions here, not one at a time, but it's like we're cloning all the positions today. Bulk clone, but just clone one positions today. But the position has usually upside down, left to right. So if you have up, down, left or right, you can have the position flipped, so down is up. We can have left is right as well. So you can have right is left. So your right is my left, and so the full position was. But you can work an ADHD% now. So you can have an ADHD%. So you can have half the time to compute, like log n time to O(n) squared space of storage for each system. So you get a polar inverse, polar process. You're gonna have half space to half time ratio, half time to half space, double space of processing to half time, double time to double half space, double time to half space. But this is a ratios of intricate. So the goal is to have a block sphere model, the computing angle. So we're gonna have time to the power of -1. B is divided by A, where B is basically the X component, B is the Y component, B is the Y component, A is the X component, which is basically in polar form, like C equals A plus B I, and this is in polar form. You can have you can have an angle in this kind of block sphere model projector system. Because projector is non-linear. It's a non-linear system of you can see your signal vibration. What you can do. No matter how you try to introduce a device, you may have 1% of star sequence of stuff you have, but the perception is very important to understand. It's a perception model. Anyone can use it. It doesn't. So you shouldn't be living calibrate your computer. Because that getting too over that. You can look up or down. Just look up. So if you just say, if it says look up and you put your head down, that's your up. That's your up. Do not calibrate it with anybody else. Don't give it to do this calibration. So you can log in, sign up, do everything, look up. So there is calibration. So perception is a calibration system. Calibration means like you can set this up like if your eye is stylus, because your eye is a stylus, you can calibrate your eye to do something, but your eye can log in the system. Because all human rights, you don't have to think about it, you don't have to do work. So your eye will be used to trace the course. I'm trying to bring a new fancy of programming with the calibration system, but what is the host perception? It's gonna have access a line and perception is listening. The reason why we have perception, people can calibrate our own minds. That's why we have perception. Perception is the calibrator of the mind, of the brain, with the software on the brain. And I was a child, I was upside down. I could flip my reality. I could build in two states. When I did a cartwheel, I can, but I stopped doing the cartwheels. I stopped doing the perception is a calibration system. Not just it is an as is. It means it can be it's a kind of calibration system. As means it kind of is means it's similar. It's one type of calibration system. But perception is the main calibration system. Thank you guys for watching.